Fairies being creatures of the imagination, it is not possible to classify them by fixed and immutable rules. The fairies of Wales may be divided into 5 classes, if analogy be not too sharply insisted on. Thus we have 1. The Ellyllon or elves, 2. The goblino or mine fairies, 3. The bubachod or household fairies, 4. The graged anwain or fairies of the lakes and streams, and 5. The gwyllion or mountain fairies. The modern Welsh name for fairies is Wytilwyth Teg, the fair folk or family. This is sometimes lengthened into Wytilwyth Teg Wynwy Coed, the fair family in the wood, or Tylwyth Teg Wy Mun, the fair folk of the mine. They are seen dancing in moonlight nights on the velvety grass, clad in airy and flowing robes of blue, green, white or scarlet. They are spoken of as bestowing blessings on those mortals whom they select to be thus favoured, and again are called Bendith I Mamau, or their mother's blessing. That is to say, good little children whom it is a pleasure to know. To name the fairies by a harsh epithet is to invoke their anger. To speak of them in flattering phrase is to propitiate their good offices. The student of fairy mythology perceives in this propitiatory mode of speech a fact of wide significance. It can be traced in numberless lands and back to the beginning of human history. The Greeks spoke of the Furies as the Eumenides or gracious ones, and it is thought that the maxim "speak only good of the dead" came originally from the notion of propitiating the ghost of the departed, who, in laying off this mortal garb, had become endowed with new powers of harming his late acquaintance. The Ellyllon are the pygmy elves who haunt the groves and valleys, and correspond pretty closely with the English elves. The English name was probably derived from the Welsh el, a spirit, elf, an element. There is a whole brood of words of this class in the Welsh language, expressing every variety of flowing, gliding spirituality, devilry, angelhood, and goblinism. On a certain farm in Glamorganshire lived Rolly Pugh, who was known far and wide for his evil luck. Nothing prospered that he turned his hand to. His crops proved poor, though his neighbours might be good. His roof leaked in spite of all his mending. His walls remained damp when everyone else's walls were dry, and above all his wife was so feeble she could do no work. His fortunes at last seemed so hard that he resolved to sell out and clear out, no matter at what loss, and try to better himself in another country. So as Rolly was sitting on his wall one day, hard by his cottage, musing over his sad lot, he was accosted by a little man who asked him what was the matter. Rolly looked around in surprise, but before he could answer, the Ellyll said to him with a grin,
There, hold your tongue. I know more about you than you ever dreamed of knowing. You're in trouble and you're going away. But you may stay. Now I've spoken to you. Only bid your good wife leave the candle burning when she goes to bed, and say no more about it."
With this, the Ellyll kicked up his heels and disappeared. Of course, the farmer did as he was bid, and from that day he prospered. Every night, Catty Jones, his wife, set the candle out, swept the hearth and went to bed. And every night the fairies would come and do her baking and brewing, her washing and mending, sometimes even furnishing their own tools and materials. The farmer was now always clean of linen and whole of garb. He had good bread and good beer. He felt like a new man and worked like one. Everything prospered with him now as nothing had before. His crops were good, his barns were tidy, his cattle were sleek, his pigs the fattest in the parish. So things went on for 3 years. One night, Catty Jones took it into her head that she must have a peep at the fair family who did her work for her. And curiosity conquering prudence, she arose while Rolly Pugh lay snoring and peeped through a crack in the door. There they were, a jolly company of Ellyllon, working away like mad, and laughing and dancing as madly as they worked. Catty was so amused that in spite of herself, she fell to laughing too, and at sound of her voice, the Ellyllon scattered like mist before the wind, leaving the room empty. They never came back anymore, but the farmer was now prosperous, and his bad luck never returned to plague him.